You guys won't believe this. So Nick Wright pointed out on Colin Cowherd's podcast, JRA, I want to get your spin briefly on some of these moves, at least one of them. The last quarterback the Saints took in the first round is Archie Manning. And these fools are still trying to win games, pushing the can down the road like they have some chance of getting in the playoffs. What are we doing? New Orleans, I don't understand where they're direct. I do understand where it's headed. It's headed in the middle of nowhere. And the more I think about that, the more I honestly hate that Derek Carr move.
Well, John, here's the thing about the New Orleans Saints, right? We weren't around before the Drew Brees era, really, and Sean Payton era, I should mention that duo. They were the paper bag franchise. I remember watching documentaries on them on NFL Network with the fans would wear paper bags over their heads because they were ashamed of them. They're ashamed of being a Saints fan. Nobody wanted to be a Saints fan. I think they even had a chant about the Saints, if I'm not mistaken, like saying how bad. I might get that, but yeah. And now, since that Sean Payton, Drew Brees era has ended, it looks like the Saints are headed back to the paper bag franchise. And it sucks because New Orleans is a great place, great city. They're die hard for their teams. They got to do a better job. I mean, come on, Saints. We got to.
I don't know if I'd be that disappointed in this move by the Saints. I think I'm a fan of it. With guys like Michael Thomas, who is ecstatic to have a quarterback like Derek Carr coming in, Chris Olave, an emerging talent, had an amazing rookie year at the receiver spot. If you're holding on to Kamara, you're probably also adding another running back because you don't know how long you'll hold on to Alvin. But I don't think they're that far out of anything right now. I actually believe at this very moment, they have the best quarterback in that division.
Well,
They're,
Justin,
so
Justin.
wow. I mean,
no,
right?
but I'm saying
God, wow, what a
they
show.
have the best quarterback
Justin,
in the division.
Kyle
So
Trask.
you're telling me
division sucks.
so that's the point.
Kyle
That is
Trask,
exactly the
Desmond
point.
Ritter, and
And the
who
Panthers
is
don't
the
have one yet.
Panthers
Sam
quarterback?
Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold right now.
Exactly. So my point is they have the best quarterback in the division. They have talent on the offensive side. They're not just a you know a terrible defense. They're not an awful defense. Who's to say that this team will probably win the division this upcoming year?
They're going to
Well,
lose their
Justin,
best
So what is
defensive
there to
end
be
in Marcus.
disappointed about?
They're going to lose their best DN in Marcus Davenport. And Michael Thomas is gone after this year. The guy's got a $59 million cap hit in 2024. He's done. Alvin Kamara is probably done. Like most running backs once they hit their seventh season. You can talk yourself into this team, but they're going to be a first-round exit. This division is one of the worst I've ever seen. They all won seven games last year. The Buccaneers were the lucky ones that won 8 or 9. So I look at the Saints team. You should maybe rebuild. Like, look what the Chiefs did. And the more I think about it, the more it just kind of irritates me in some ways. And their fans are amazing. They don't deserve this. They need a better, especially what the Pelicans point out right now with Noah Zion. I mean, they deserve a whole lot more than this garbage.
Yeah, I mean, Justin, I get what you're saying, but like that division sucks. Like what you're saying is factually correct, but that division sucks too. Like we know the Bucks are shot. Brady's gone. The Panthers are a solid team. They have no quarterback right now, and the Atlanta Falcons have a good future to look at, but again, they still have no quarterback either. And the Saints, so now for some reason you believe in Dennis Allen as a head coach even after last season?
It's not me saying that I believe. I'm saying also
They'll win the division.
there's a quarterback under center that he can work with. We haven't seen him perform with an actual quarterback. Now he has one, and Derek Carr is playing in a horrible situation in Vegas where the defense was god awful, losing him games left and right. And I'm talking about a Saints defense that towards the end of the season didn't even allow 20 points for weeks on end.
It was no, I'm not. The defense is pretty damn good. We know about them. That's not the problem. The offense also, like the offensive line. Me and John talked about this yesterday. The offensive line needs some work. Michael Thomas. Well, we remember this elite receiver of Michael Thomas. We have not seen that Michael Thomas in years, dealing with injuries. Older now, big cap hit. He's happy to have Derek Carr there. If you saw his tweet, but we still have to see if he can still do it. Those are questions. Chris Olave. None of us on the show have any question about. We know Chris Olave can ball. We saw him in the rookie season with no quarterback. Alvin Kamara, homeboy's in court.
He is in court.
Right? He might be suspended. He might face jail time. We don't know. And even if he does play, he might be traded. He's on the trade block all last year. So a lot of question marks. The head coach we all know is not very good. Derek Carr is a pretty damn good quarterback. Again, I'll say that. I think he's a pretty damn good quarterback. I think I have him 14th, 13th, 15th in that range in the league. They'll win the division. Right now, currently, they're the favorites by default because that division sucks. It's the worst division in football by far. You remember what I said about the NFC East last year, right? Where no team has a shot to win the Super Bowl. I was wrong then. I can obviously admit it, right? You had the Cowboys who made the playoffs. You had the Eagles who were in the freaking Super Bowl.
And Jets.
Yeah, but they had real no shot to make the. But I get what
They
you're saying.
won
They won a playoff.
They had no
All
shot to
three
make
of
the
them.
Super Bowl though. Yeah, but they had no shot to make the Super Bowl. Come on. The NFC South guys going into this, I think we can all firmly say, none of us are choosing any of these teams to make it to a Super Bowl. They have no shot. There's no championship aspirations with any of these teams. So that's really what it is. Like, congratulations, you're going to win the NFC South.
Are you?
But
Are we sure about that? Like
right now,
last
they're the
year might be
favorite.
better
Right
than the
now,
Saints team.
right now, they're the favorite to me. Right now, because they have a quarterback and no other team does. And we'll see how the draft plays out, how the free agency plays out, and if Carolina can make a move, I think Carolina can be right there with them. If Tampa Bay maybe makes a move for a quarterback, they can be kind of right there with them. All these teams are not that good though. At the end of the day, still,